Odua Nation agitators apprehended a man allegedly writing down plate numbers of railers' vehicles. All right. During the Osun State mega rally yesterday, some agitators of Odua Nation had apprehended a man identified as Mr. ЩΘY1ΝΓ for allegedly writing the plate numbers of vehicles owned by railers at the Palace of Äþþr in Osogbo. Mr. ЩΘY1ΝΓ, while he was being interrogated, Mr. ЩΘY1ΝΓ alleged that he was sent to monitor all vehicles that followed Sunday Igboho and pinned down their plate numbers. When asked about his tribe, he revealed that he is from Oyo State but worked as a security operative at the federal level. He, however, begged for forgiveness as he made it known that nobody can kill or arrest Sunday Igboho because he is a nationalist. The Odua Nation agitators let go of him after the interrogation without harming or beating him up. While reacting to this, those who were able to take to the comment section advised the agitators to be very vigilant and make sure no stone is left unturned while ensuring the security of railers. Okay, so some of these reactions are here below. And somebody says, so far you have shown his face to the public. Just leave him and let's advance to our next rally. We must be vigilant. More of this are still coming. God bless Odua Nation. I think it's lucky for him that he wasn't even beat up or anything, because not as suspicious. So again, for the protesters, I mean, they will now know that, you know what, going forward, we have to be careful, very vigilant, because again, you know, obviously with, I don't know, do we even have a system of plate numbers? I don't even understand, but anyway, just so that you are going to be on a watch list in terms of who is watching you, who you're going against, and that kind of thing. So again, it's a good thing. It's a good thing that this man was caught. But yeah, someone says Odua Nation should have security and intelligence department to deal with such issues. That will help us a long way. That will require funds, but if they're ready to pay such, then it is what it is. Someone says many of his colleagues from other superior security operatives must have perfected their tasks and disappeared. Only him can't be attendee to such occasion. That is true. I mean, again, it's just they just have to be careful. That's it. Because again, he said he was sent. So again, and that just shows you're going to be watched. And if you're going with your cars, all that, again, just be very careful. That's just it. But again, we can't be surprised because we know if you're against the government, they will come for you in the nicest way possible. But that's just how it is. Someone says that show whatever the judgment of God is upon you, on Yoruba Nation we stand, no going back. Well, someone says Yoruba Nation should be, as a matter of urgency, constitute a security and intelligence department because this struggle involves more than what the eye can see. Absolutely. Christians will say we wrestle not against flesh and blood but principalities and powers. The fact just remains that you've got to be tactical, have an intelligence team who, obviously, we know that, okay, fine, on average, a lot of people might support the quest for Odua Nation. However, there has to be like staple people that they can identify. Obviously, not necessarily being a leader of a group, but having a team that will go behind them in terms of, okay, fine, going with cameras, going with defense strategies, for example, like pepper spray, I don't know. But just knowing that they will have to defend themselves, because I mean, you're just asking for a nation, which is a big thing. But then people were asking to live and then they got shot, as we've seen in the EndSARS protest. So again, nothing is guaranteed. So yeah. Someone also says streets are bound everywhere. There's no exception. It hurts. Oh, it totally hurts. I mean, how do Biafras handle it when you're fighting, not fighting, but you want to have a nation? However, you know, certain governors, well, Igbo governors, are basically working against you. Do you know how hurtful that would be to the Igbo man? Because it's like, we literally want to be independent. You're literally working for your oppressors. And I think for me, that is like the greatest level of betrayal, because you're not doing it for the betterment of your own people. You're not making any changes. In fact, through you give executive orders to literally attack ASN. And, so again, it's like that example just shows. So again, at least Yorubas can actually learn from what the Igbos have gone through, or Biafrans, and see what their fight and their curse have been like. What have they gone through? What are the dynamics? What situations can go wrong? And just understanding that you're going to be hurt by the fact that not everyone will support it. But then again, that gives more reason as to why it will take time for Biafra or Oduduwa to be achieved, because if no one is, if there's no unity, then of course it doesn't make sense. And imagine there's unity, it will be easy, but of course it's a bit too ideal. But then again, it's like, okay, fine, what if certain people in that tribe do not agree to having to achieving self-determination? That would basically mean that they would have to decide, because it's like, you can't just, it's very complicated, because again, if you don't agree that you want, you being a Yoruba person, if you don't agree that, let's be Oduduwa nation, then where will you go if Oduduwa nation actually happens? You have to stay there, because it's is where you come from. You have no choice. If you want to move to the Igbo land or up north, that is your choice, but it might mean that you might need a visa, which doesn't still make sense, because as Africans, we should go anywhere we want. But that's a whole new problem. And I guess, us pushing for self-determination bring up a whole new conversation on how African countries are I don't want to say are obliged, but it just opens the conversation of, unity and just collectivism as a people. We need to push on that, because again, it's like, it could be by having a single market, single currency, going, if you want to go to travel to another African country, why should we need a visa, We should have that. So I guess us separating and how we relate to each other, because again, we're not alone. No one prospers alone. So yeah, I guess it's a good thing. But yeah, when it comes to this, understanding Nigeria, you can't be ignorant, you can't be unprepared, you can't be reckless when you're going about moves like this. It's very dangerous. Look at Nnamdi Kanu, like he's leading a whole ESN. However, he's literally like, I don't even think he's in the country. Look at Showore. Look at all they will come for you. So again, it's just like, decide what you want and be strategic on how you're doing it, because again, there's no point not planning properly and then you just, God forbid, lose your life for nothing. Put what you think about it in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.